get you guys to try that one. Again, you can pause this and then do it on your own and then start it up and see if your answer matches mine. All right, so first thing I always do is get this asymptote and I look at this bracket and I take the opposite. So it is -2. So I'm going to put a line in at -2. So let's go boom, -2. Remember to label it. So don't forget to label. And you can put this down here, asymptote, x equals -2. Okay, then I have another line right here. Okay, helps me get my origin point. So let's draw a line. And I'm going to make this one a little different color. So I'm going to make it blue. And so now I go down 4 right here and just draw a line in there so it helps me. Okay, now I can go and plot my point. My points again, remember, always come from this base function. I'm giving you the same base. So you should hopefully remember this guy. Okay, so remember those base points are 1, 0, so over 1, 0, and then it was 2 over 1 up. Oops. So do you notice that I'm going from this origin now, right? Not this origin. I did my transformation. Okay, and the last one is 4 over 2 up. And then we sketch and put our arrows on the end because we know these go on forever. So my domain is x values greater than -2, and this is our all real. Okay, so hopefully you did that right. All right, let's move on. Okay, now when you get to these ones, there's got some reflections going on with that guy, and it's got some horizontal compression going with that too, and there's got some factoring going on. So when you're doing these ones, I would not recommend doing it how we did those easier ones. We're going to do this one through mapping, so watch what we do here. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, the first thing is you got to factor that bracket. So there it is. Take the 2 out because 2 times x is 2x and 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now the base points, remember the base points from the y equals 2x right here are right here. Now we're going to do our mapping skills like we did in Learning Guide 1, 2. Okay, remember this 2 comes out of the bracket and becomes a half, which I just wrote as 0.5, just a quicker way of writing it, of x. And then this plus 3 comes out as minus 3. And then this negative sign is in front of the function, so it's in front of the y. Now it's just input. This goes into there, this goes into there to get all these new x values, and then I take these y values into there to get all these y values. Now I would draw the asymptote in because it's something that you have to label and it helps us. So let's draw our line. Okay, so we are going to go and draw a blue line, and let's look at the bracket, the factored bracket right here. So it's x plus 3, so it's going to be minus 3, so we have an asymptote right there. All right, so now we don't have to do anything else. We just have to plot the points. Okay, so let's plot these points. So negative 2.5, so negative 2.5 and 0. And then we have negative 2, negative 1. And then we have negative 1. Oh, that should have been there, pardon me. And negative 1, negative 2. Okay, so let's just erase that so we don't get confused here. Let's go back. Okay, so I didn't quite go over negative 2 down 1 and negative 1 down 2 and 1 over down 3 right there. And we know it's going this way because of that reflection on the x-axis. So we know it's hugging this asymptote. That's why we put the asymptote in. And it goes through there and continues on. Okay, so there is our sketch of the graph. And then we can do our domain and range, and we can do all the other things. Okay, don't forget to label always the asymptotes. X equals negative 3. Don't forget that. Okay, now these guys right here, when you have to find the x and y intercepts, use your calculator. It's a lot easier. And this is going to help you find some complicated answers to multiple choice questions. So let's get our calculator out. And we are going to graph it and find the intercepts. So let's go back a few slides and find. You always want to go to the original when you're graphing. Don't go to a factored out one. Always go back to the original when you factor, or when you graph, pardon me. Okay, now this is a trickier one because we have a change of base right here and we have a negative sign. So basically what we have is we have a negative, and then in brackets we have the change of base. So we have log of argument divides by log of base. Okay, so you got that negative in front, so just remember that when you're typing in. So we can put the negative, and now we go bracket, and we type in log, and we have the argument, which is 2x plus 6. All right. And another bracket, and then we're going to divide that by the log of the base, so log of base 2, bracket, bracket, and graph. Okay, so there is our graph. Now you can't see, this does go up this line, it's just the pixels on the graphing calculator just disappear. But there is an asymptote right there, we know. Now, if I want to find the x-intercept, I have to go and put in y2 a 0. All right, remember that, a 0. Okay, now I go second trace down to intersect, enter. Now, let's just move the cursor so it's close to the x-intercept. Doesn't have to be on top of it, but close to it. That's good enough. Enter, enter, enter. So we got negative 2.5. Okay, so negative 2.5 is our x-intercept, which we write here. Negative 2.5. Okay, now let's go find our y-intercept. That's the easy one. Let's just trace 0, enter. and that is negative, let's do two decimal places, 5.8. So negative 2.58. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Okay, you can try that one on your own and see how you do. Okay, and we'll stop here and we'll finish up in part 3.